Road made this.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What's popping, guys? Welcome to Zero Talks and Football Rig, and welcome to the fifth episode of Top BINS Ya AKHI. I'm here with Sami. However, Sami's cam's not on at the moment because he is elsewhere doing important matters. You know what I'm saying? But he will be around chatting. So, yeah, guys, listen. You guys know exactly what to do. Subscribe, press alarm bell to feature content notifications on both channels. Like, comment your way. Go check socials. Inshallah, well, wherever you may be. Yasami, are you around?
Yep, I'm around, buddy. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the channel. Zero said it all. Like and subscribe before we hit. Come on, man. There's a lot to unwrap. There's a lot to talk about. It's been 2 weeks, so let's unravel what happened in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. I agree. You know what though? Just quickly, I want to start off with one of my players who's moved to the Saudi league. Kingsley Coman. So he's moving. He's on his way to Hong Kong to join Nassr for the Super Cup. Uh, as far as I know, he said his goodbyes to Bayern and the fans. Blah 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 blah. Initially they said, Here we go, Fabrizio." Then he looked fraudulent because of our supervisory board not approving it since the value was not enough, since it's a Saudi club. That's trying to purchase the player, and they wanted more money, and then all of a sudden, the "here we go" happened again. So, yeah, listen, we're getting rid of a player. In our perspective, I've already said it. Need to try to get somebody in to replace him. And Mr. Lisbon is gone, man. Khalas is going to Nassr, and he'll add to Nassr's attack if he stays fit, in my opinion, under Jesus. So let's see how that unravels, man. But what's your thoughts, Sammy, as somebody that's somewhat of an outsider in this?
Honestly, I mean, Kingsley Coman, from what I've seen in the past couple of years, I mean, he's kind of injury prone. So I think
Yeah,
it's a win for Bayern Munchen that they got rid of him, because I didn't
yeah,
really see him much. I mean, the moments we see him, he's quite brilliant as a winger, but to be available at all time is important as well, as much as his skills and pace and all that stuff. So I think it's more a win for Bayern than Al Nassr, but I hope he stays fit so we can see him play. I think he's gonna thrive if he stays fit. Now that's the key element in Coman's signing, in my opinion. But you tell me. I mean, from for how long he's been in Bayern Munich, and how long did he stay actually available in Bayern
uh,
Munich?
so he's been around for 10 years now. He joined in 2015. From Juve, and for the most part, he's been injury prone for the most part. I can't even lie to you. Like, he showed an element of his brilliance at times. At times that he was very annoying to
Hmm.
watch. You know,
Yep.
but I will say one thing he did very well is he did turn up in some big games for us. Like, I remember the obviously the Juventus game. He killed that game off in extra time. The one where we pulled off the remontada. Um, I remember him turning up in the Champions League final as well that we won. Um, I remember as well the goal that he scored against Köln, which helped us win the Bundesliga in 22-23, the one that Musiala scored in the end as well. He contributed with one goal. So he's turned up in some big moments for us. I can't lie to you. And there are some big games he's turned up in. Like, there was one game we played against United, which we played terrible in. He scored, you know,
Yeah.
bloody the Atletico game after the Champions League. He cooked in that game in the beginning because I thought in that group stage maybe that it was going to be iffy for us playing Atleti, but we turned out we killed them there. So Yeah, he's done pretty well in some aspects. Even the PSG game in 22-23, the 1-0 winner, and then we ended up winning 2-0 when we had Noggsman before he got sacked. So he's done some good things, man. He's done some good things for Bayern. It's just I feel
So
like
how
in a
much did you
consistent
guys
manner.
purchase him for? I can't recall the signing. How much was it from
I
Juve?
don't think we got him for much because it was from Juventus, and at the time the market wasn't. I think we got him for so little. I don't even remember exactly, but we didn't get him for much.
What
Um,
about the wages? The wages was a
oh
lot,
no,
or
so the wages wasn't bad at the start. Again, don't remember how much, but then I know that after the Champions League win and after he got his new deal, his wages went up to 17 million euros a year. So the wages
wow?
cleared up. That's for sure. One thing I can guarantee you, the wages is cleared up, alhamdulillah, in that aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to talk more about the Nassr side because you see the Nassr side of it. I mean, listen, if we're keeping a stack, man, and Nassr is actually like building something ever since they got in their new director. I don't know if you're aware, they got in the new director. I actually just found out recently as well. They got rid of Hierro and they got in Simao Coutinho. And since then, they've been getting Felix, they've been getting
Mhm.
Martinez in, now Coman.
But
And
don't you feel like it's more Ronaldo signing than Al Nassr signing?
I mean,
Because like it was,
listen,
yeah.
I mean, if Ronaldo wants them, sure, but then it's also about execution, don't you think? Like, it's all good wanting, but it's also about execution. Because, by the way, Al Nassr's problem has always been executing signings, you
I
know?
don't think lately they've been struggling with the execution.
No, no, من
They
قبل.
got Sadio Mane, they got Beresic, if I recall. I mean, they got their targets, whatever the targets
Yeah,
were.
but that was a few years
Unlike
ago.
Al Hilal, recently they've been rejected rights, left, and center
You
from
say that.
multiple players,
Okay, Sammy, you say that, but you're missing the point. I'm saying
which is.
in the
Mhm.
beginning of the summer window, this summer, you see the Manes and all this. This was like 2 years ago, Habibi. Keep up with the times. أنا قاعد أقول لك
Right.
that in the beginning of the summer, they were really struggling to get people in. It's like Al Hilal, truth. Yes, Al Hilal also struggled to get people in, but they were trying to get people in. And
No, I was
now,
talking overall since the PIF. I'm not saying only
yeah, yeah, no,
exclusively this summer.
I'm talking
Uh,
about this summer specifically. Like this summer,
Maybe who were they linked with, and they couldn't really bring from the beginning of the
I
summer.
remember they were linked with the Diaz's, the Martinellis, and them all. They couldn't get them in. But to be fair, part of it
Diaz,
also,
I recall, yes, but
you know,
Martinelli, I don't think they went for Martinelli. There were some rumors, that's true, but it never actually materialized. There was no offer. There was nothing that suggests that Al Nassr actually approached Arsenal for Martinelli. But Luis Diaz, yes, I think Luis Diaz rejected Al Nassr because of the Champions League and all that stuff. Who else? And they lost a player, Duran, I think,
yeah,
right?
they lost
To
Duran as well. And but to be fair, I think
mm,
losing Duran, I don't put too much on the Nassr. I think that was on. I think he also wanted to get out of Saudi. I could tell. I do not know
yeah,
why.
yeah.
Like I can tell he wanted to get out of Saudi. I don't know what that reason was, but the news that I read at the time, he was going through stuff. I don't know what it was, but it was clear that he was not happy being here. You could just tell. So, and by the way, even watching him play for Al Nassr at times, he's just kicking the ball for the sake of it. So it's clear now he's doing his job at Fenerbahce, and they got through in some qualifier for the I think the Champions League. So there you go.
Yeah, I see him.
Against
He scored. Yeah,
yeah. So that's really it. But
but
yeah, I mean, you're going on.
so do you think Al Nassr close the gap between Al Nassr Al Hilal, and you think they have a good shot to
I actually
challenge?
think I think they can. I can't lie. I've been saying this lately. I think that these signings will help them like try to close the gap with us. You know, I think the one that's really not been doing anything in the Saudi league transfer window is Al Ittihad. I don't know what Al Ittihad are doing, especially being champions. Like you would think that they'd kick on
Yeah,
from there, but they've not been doing anything. Like Al Ahly has been a bit doing stuff a bit. They got in Milot, you know. But even them,
yeah.
they need to do a bit more. But at least they're doing something. With Al Ittihad, I've seen nothing out of them. zero, zilch. So I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe they're content. I don't know. We
Yeah,
have to
but
bring some Ittihadi here
yeah,
to.
yeah, but they can add more because, by the way, I think towards the end of last season they were kind of scraping their way through winning the double. Like they did most of their job at the start of the season. You know, that's my thing. But let's see how it goes, man. Let's see how it goes. Um, and then obviously we got Nunes. أعوذ بالله. We got Nunes. They start. Have you seen Sami? What they've been saying online, the Saudi Twitter? They've been saying Nimr, Nimr Khash.
Well, listen, man. I think you guys played like a game or something, and I saw
Two
Nune.
friendlies, yeah, two friendlies, and he scored in both of them.
Yeah, man, he looked good. I think Nunes is gonna really thrive in the Saudi league. I mean, despite that he was, he had a bad moments in Liverpool, but I think in the Saudi Pro League, I think he will find himself and be easily get a top scorer. I mean, besides Ronaldo, besides the guys and all.
Them and them. Yeah, but you know what? The only hope I have with Nunes doing anything Salaha is only
Hmm.
because of Inzaghi being the manager. If it wasn't for Inzaghi, I actually would have no hope.
But
I'm
he
being
wanted
real.
him, didn't he?
Exactly. He wanted him
Oh,
because he sees
okay,
something in. But my
so
my
I'm sure,
thing
I'm
is,
sure, I'm sure he'll be able to get the best out of him and fully utilize him I mean, expand on his potential. I mean, the guy is not
inshallah.
old. I mean, I don't know, maybe he's 25 years old or something like that.
Shuf, inshallah. I mean, listen, I'm not a fan, but listen, listen. One thing I'll tell you, and you know how us people are about, bro. I'm open to being wrong. Yeah, I really am. But from what I saw at Liverpool, like, I mean, listen. Is he good? Is he decent on the ball? Can he be positionally aware? Is he physical? Cool. But his finishing is a problem. Like that's my concern.
Yeah,
So
yeah, he's not that clutch. You're right. He's not that much clinical, and that's what Liverpool fans hated about him. I mean, he missed a lot. I mean, I don't know if it's a jinx on him or it's just he's not that clinical because in a lot of games that I've seen Liverpool play, man, you know how much he hit the post, man. In one game, I've seen three times he hit the post. I don't know. You
yeah.
want to call it he's not clinical or luck is not residing next to him. I mean that's a debate for another. That's a for another day. But uh, when it comes to the raw skills, the pace, the power, yeah, I think he has it. And I think not much in the Saudi league that they have in a similar manner. The pace that he has and the strength that he has, and that's what I think Inzaghi sees in him. I think he sees that physically he's elite in terms of physicality and stamina and all that stuff. And I think he can turn him into a good striker. I wouldn't say an elite striker, but a good striker that can bag some goals.
Yeah, inshallah, khair. I think that's enough of Saudi
Also,
League talk.
sorry, Zir, but also I think Al Hilal also creates chances in abundance. So if
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
guys,
we do. Oh, yeah, we do.
I
Well,
think that will also help him to say, okay, if he doesn't score now, I mean, he'll have like three, four chances within the next 10 minutes, and he can
bro,
score one of
and
them.
Sami, and listen, out of all the Saudi Pro League fans, I mean, ours, if you don't do anything, we'll start creating a drama with the players. You saw what happened with Malcolm.
That's true.
You
Yeah,
know what
that's
I
true.
mean? Like we'll start calling out everything, which I mean I don't mind, but I mean depends on what level. So listen, Nunes better step up, man, because this calling of Nimmer may as well become being just a cat. So he needs to be careful there. You get me? But yeah, I want to talk about obviously UEFA Super Cup happened. Did you watch that game, bro?
I did.
Tottenham.
I did. And I actually thought Tottenham really looked good, to be honest, under Thomas Frank. I mean, I did not expect Thomas Frank to come in within a very short time, managed to build like a structure for Tottenham. They really look solid. I know they lost and they dropped the ball and they kind of bottled it, but I think Tottenham fans. I mean, I'm an Arsenal fan, and you would be surprised for me to say such things, but from what I've seen from Tottenham so far against us, they won 1-0, and what I've seen from the Super Cup, UEFA Cup, I think they're looking really really good in terms of structure. They have a really rigid team. And that's thanks to Thomas Frank. I mean, they didn't add really much of players. They had the similar players, except for Kudos, probably. And I think they'll be one of the surprises this season. They might easily challenge for top four. I think they have the resources, they have the good players, and now they have a really good coach. I'm really, really surprised from Thomas Frank. I mean, kudos to him. Pun appended.
To be fair, after that 4-0 loss to us, the way they stepped up, to be fair, was very good. However, Spursy, man, they just had to be these man to bottle it. By the way, I'm sorry, but anyone rating Romero, I've been telling man he's a fraud. That second goal's on him.
Well, he's
Absolute.
now the captain now. I mean, he's officially
He
their
is a
captain.
captain. He is a captain. He
Hmm.
may have scored that goal, but I mean, to defend like that, my God. أعوذ بالله يا أخي. Like, what is his defending? But to be fair, Van de Ven had a stinker as well. I'm not even gonna like he scored, but that also defensively from him was poor, you know. And that penalty miss was poor. But
And
even though,
also, but also PSG looked a bit, how can I say it? They had a big ego coming in, and kind of they wanted to just say, okay, we're gonna nail it, but Tottenham just put two goals, and they kind of got looked a little bit lost. But that goal at the, I think, 84th minute or 85th minute just turned the tables, man. And as you said, it's Spursy, but I think there's a lot of good things and good points to take from this game and the game before for Tottenham in the preseason overall. That Tottenham are looking much, much, much better under Thomas Frank rather than Ange Postecoglou.
yeah. By the way, I was actually hoping Tottenham would win. Well, I was actually hoping Tottenham
I
would
don't
win.
know you guys. I don't know this dude.
Listen, you don't know me, but
بريء
listen.
منهم.
Yeah, no,
أنا
no, no, no.
بريء.
But اسمعني. The reason why I was hoping for it because I started to get sick and tired of this PSG treble hype. Best team of all time. Shut up, man. Best team of all time. Tressa, best team of all time. Yeah, even my treble would shit on that team, bro. Allow it. See, this is when I was like, you know what, Tottenham, teach him a lesson, and you can even do that for me. Fucking bozos.
I would
Um,
agree if it was any other team than Tottenham, I would have definitely agreed with you there, but I can't. I'm sorry. My
No, listen.
bias is.
When in your perspective, I understand. However, in my perspective, I'm glad you understand me. So we're on the same page. We're on the same page. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. PSG has a big ego now, and rightfully so. I mean, the guys won the treble, and they
Yeah,
annihilated
but
every team in Europe. They deserve. I mean, where they are right now. But yeah, I mean, eventually somebody will knock them out. I mean, on their head, and it's gonna happen this season. I don't think they're gonna replicate what they did last season, especially in the Champions League. I think there are too many good teams there. Barca's there, Bayern München's there, even Real Madrid is there. I mean, you cannot just sleep on
and
Real Madrid in the Champions League. Even though we knocked them out with 5 goals, but still, I rate Madrid highly. Even ourselves, Arsenal. I mean, I
if
have a
you're
gut
gonna rate
feelings that we'll
yourselves,
do
I'm gonna
something
rate
in the.
Napoli with you because you both are the similar caliber guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Arsenal.
we're the underdogs when it comes to Champions League. I mean, we're the underdogs. We
Iowa.
never won it, so
Iowa.
it's something that
So wait,
you have
since
to
you made
drop
the
that low
semi-final,
key.
you
Huh?
reckon
Okay,
Conte
no
make the
problem.
final this year? Maybe win it.
Now you're lowballing me. That's a
No.
nasty low ball. But you know what? Yesterday I was in a space in Twitter, and they were it was an Arsenal space to be specific, and they were saying, "Okay, guys, we want to hear what is your expectation for the season? What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna end up? What are you gonna win?" And I told them, "Listen, I think Liverpool will win the league," and everybody turned against me because I said Liverpool will win the league because I think Liverpool will win because they're the strongest team. And they reinforced heavily with Florian Wirtz, and Isak probably most likely is going to come. So that's why I'm saying Liverpool. But what I said also is I think Arsenal are going to win the Champions League. And everybody was like, what? I was like, yes, I think we're going to win the Champions League, and I think we're going to win the Carabao Cup, the two cups that we actually fumble always in.
Yeah. Yo, by the way, before actually, I was gonna ask you one side question before we get to that. See this fraud saying this. Yeah, what do Dirkus do? I don't know, whatever it is, have in common with Hano's club. We are both reigning defense. You know what my response to that is? Honestly, do you know what my response to this is? Um, okay, Hano, be careful what you wish for.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you. We don't care. Yeah, we cared then. We don't care now.
Come
Seriously.
on, you wanted somebody to humble them, and Chelsea didn't manage to humble them nicely in the World Cup. As much as I hate Chelsea, but as much as I say, wow, well done.
No, no, wow, yeah. Well, congratulations, بس خلاص, bro. He wants me to talk about Chelsea for the rest of my life. يا أخي اسكت. Can't be bothered, يا أخي. I have a life. Anyway.
Okay.
والله العظيم ما يفضي له يا أخي. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, before we move on from this whole game and that, we need to talk about. Actually, I was going to ask you a question about the Talmus because he's been getting backlash. Do you have a quick say on that before I was going to ask you something else?
Sorry, who?
Because he used to be Matisse Tel, because he used to be at Bayern. So I
Oh,
wanted to know
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Well,
He missed that time
are
and
you,
he's been getting backlash.
are you, well, it's more about a racist thing that happened, and I see also even Tottenham official.
Yeah, I stand with
I,
him.
yeah, I don't know what really happened. What was said? Was it like online or
Yeah, I
something
don't
like that? I
know.
think.
I would assume it was some mad stuff which we don't get into, but yeah. But you
Maybe
know
some.
what though? I actually think when he was
Mhm.
at Bayern, I wanted him to stay personally because I saw like certain talents that he had, and his finishing is actually, at least the catalog of finishing is actually very good. Um, but apparently he's not been able to show it at Tottenham, and I'm kind of not shocked because I did say if he went to the Prem, he needs to improve in his physicality because Premier League obviously you need an element of physicality, and he just
Yes,
doesn't
you're
have it.
right. Hmm. I agree
You
with you. I
know,
didn't think. I don't think he adapted yet to the Premier League. I don't know what
he
maybe
hasn't
Thomas
known.
Frank will be able. I think Thomas Frank might have something, to suit his play style, and I don't know. I'm not sure, but as far as I've seen from Tottenham in the past season under Ange, I don't think he adapted very well.
I don't think so neither, and it's a shame, Allah, because I would have expected a bit, you know, more. But then again, I'm not shocked that you know he hasn't improved because he's not just like at Tottenham, but Premier League. He needed to bulk up more, and he didn't do that. So there you go. But the one I actually wanted to talk to you on is Donnarumma, because he's being linked to City now, and he could have been in the Super Cup, but obviously he wasn't picked to being in the squad, and then he said his goodbyes to PSG fans. Um, what's your thoughts on him being linked to Man City?
Well, I think first of all, it was nasty from PSG to leave him out. I think if Donnarumma was there, at least in PSG, it would have ended. I mean, he's leaving anyways. Fabrizio even tweeted that he's 100% leaving the club, but PSG dealt with it a bit in a nasty way. That's saying that if you're not gonna sign a renewal contract, you can just leave. But yeah, going to City, I think it's a great addition to City. I mean, they have Ederson, but Ederson is in a decline right now, and nobody can deny that. That's Donnarumma is a much younger goalkeeper, and he still has a huge room of improvement. And they're getting one of the top goalkeepers in the world. I mean, City are moving crazy. I mean, aside of the links also with Rodrigo, if they sell Savinho to Tottenham.
Yeah, by the way, I think another reason was Enrique rather Chevalier than him because of ball playing ability and all. Man, I'm not gonna lie, this whole ball playing stuff is overstated. I swear to God. Like they care more about ball playing goalkeepers than they care about shot stopping, which
You really
is,
think that?
I mean, is ridiculous in my opinion. Because the only guy who's able to do any of this stuff perfectly is my goalkeeper Neuer, and even now he's slowed down in that. So it's one of those really is one of those weird scenarios. But I think Donnarumma, listen, I think Pep is now realizing he needs shot stopper. He's getting shot stopper. Donnarumma, great. You know, I think this helps Man City in the title charge personally, because we both talked about this. A lot of Premier
Mhm.
League fans have talked about this, or football fans in general. What happened since the City game is we've noticed that their defense has been off. Yeah. So if their defense is looking off and now they're conceding attacks way more often they're gonna need a shot stopper to save them. Donnarumma, I think, could be that guy. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure if he's still going to be that, because by the way, some people say he's the best goalie in the world. I don't know if he's that yet. I mean, yeah, he was in 2025, but I'm talking in general here because I've seen him have fumbles in in some games, but then towards the end of last season, he obviously did what he did. So now let's see if he kicks on to actually elevate his status, is what I'm saying. But if he does that at Man City, he definitely elevates his status for me. I can't
But
lie.
he's young, Zir. I mean, how old is he? Can you check it out? Maybe
أتوقع
27. What
25 26 شيء كذا. I'm sure it's more
man, for a
25.
goalkeeper, that's quite young.
I know.
Very very young.
I do agree with this. Yeah, I do it because they go till like 40 years old or something, don't they?
Well, the goalkeepers are the I mean, you can really grow old in that post without needing to be like a very young talent. I mean, we've seen what Buffon until what 40,
Yeah, even Manuel Neuer, my keeper, he's literally playing at 39 years old.
and he's elite. It's, I mean, for
Yeah, by the
goalkeepers,
way, to be fair, in terms of shot stopping, he's still like, weirdly enough, I wouldn't say top 5. I'd say like around top 10 still. If we're talking in 2025. For a 39-year-old. That's kind of mad. You know? But yeah, by the way,
yeah,
Donnarumma is 26 years old. That was correct.
yeah, man. I mean, that's very very young. You cannot deny the fact that he's very young, and he's gonna be coached by Pep Guardiola, with one of the most elite coaches in world football, and he's going to a club that normally aim to win stuff. So when it comes to career wise, I think it's a very good decision from him to go to a club such as City, where also Ederson, like I said, is in decline. Nobody can say he's
Yeah.
improving. For whatever reasons, he's in the decline. But I think he's gonna fit perfectly for City.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think
Um,
Galatasaray offered him something. I mean, I'm talking about Ederson here. And I remember T was in Korapod. Shout out to T and the guys. That he said he asked Ashraf a very tricky question. He's like, "What do you think of Ederson?" And he said, "Well, Ederson is a good goalkeeper." And then Ash realized that he's asking the question because he was linked to Galatasaray.
yeah. By the way, can I just say, side note, yeah, last week, Ashraf was moving fraudulent. Him and Saad, they're moving like frauds when talking about Arteta and company. Absolute bozos. You think I didn't know? But to be fair, I was in the chat. Yeah. Listen, one won a trophy, one didn't. Yeah. So we don't talk
Oh
about
yeah,
we
about
don't
company.
talk. TK, hey, listen, I don't know why Mina started that. He's a Bayern fan for those who don't know. Yeah, he's usually around in my chat. He was around in Saad's chat that day. Listen,
Who?
that guy who asked in the super chat the question, he's a Bayern fan. That's why he asked that question. And I told him, why are you starting the damn conversation? Yeah, look what you started. You know what I mean? But bro, Ashraf moving like a fraud, bro. Listen, I
Look,
dare Arteta to step
I
up
was I
and
was
buy him.
there. I was there, and almost my stances are very similar to the guys because I don't really rate both coaches. I don't rate company,
Yeah,
and
I
I don't
don't
rate
rate. Listen,
Arteta.
I don't rate. By the way, you know my argument in the chat. I don't even rate company like that neither. But the fact that I have to defend my manager against Arteta is
Exactly.
crazy.
I mean, where did the company coach in Burnley or
Burnley.
whatever, right?
Yeah,
And
but
and he got them to the Premier League, but he couldn't really manage to even stay in the Premier League, which is low key like the minimum
yeah, it's
expectation
not a good
for a
look.
for
I understand. Well, I get it, but you need to also
yeah.
understand when your company, he's very stubborn. What I need, okay. So when you're very stubborn and you're
Like
coaching,
Arteta is very understanding person. Wow.
oh no. Arteta is also Anid. They're both Anid. That's a they're
Okay.
both, no,
That's
no.
upsetting.
But hear me out. Arteta is coaching at Arsenal, right? He's coaching at Arsenal, and you have company
Okay.
coaching at fucking Burnley. Okay. And he's thinking, I have to go attack, 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 attack. That's what company's thinking. عادي تفكيره. Which is why at Bayern actually it's working, because it's attack, attack, attack. That's what we are used to. Attack, attack, attack. At Burnley, though, they're used to defending. They've only known defending because they had Sean Dyche for God knows how long before them, I
That's
believe.
true.
Okay?
Yeah.
So when you just go all out attacking against big sides, your high line and everything, you're always going to be conceding chances. And then when you're Burnley, you're always going to be conceding goals. And Asaf, let's be honest, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are levels
Here's my
to this
thing.
conversation.
Arteta wants control and defense. Do you think control and defense will work at Bayern? Be honest. No, it's not. If you tell me it is, go give it a shot. Give it a shot and let's see how it works. Ask Tuchel how it went out.
Look,
Tuchel when the things didn't go well.
if you're Bayern Munich, I mean, you got to understand something. I mean, if you are a big club like Bayern Munich in a Bundesliga, with all due respect to Bundesliga, you need to dominate because you are levels above,
And
the other
Arteta will
clubs.
not. And Arteta will not. That's my point. He will not.
No, I think he will. I think he will. He's.
He will not.
I mean, at the end of the day, both of them are disciples from Pep Guardiola, right? And Pep Guardiola way and play style is possession-based football. In a way, in one way or shape or form, they're always the possession is always in their favor. So when you play possession football, that means that you're always surrounding the opponent in their box and trying to find the gaps between the lines or the crosses or whatever to get a goal. And that's how what I mean what worked for Guardiola for the past 15 years or so. And that's what I mean, I would say the best way of football in the past decade or so. And that's what they know. I mean, company, for how long did he stayed under Guardiola? Arteta in a similar manner. He was in Arsenal at the end of his career as a player, and then he
Yeah.
moved to Manchester City for 3 years under Guardiola. So from a coaching perspective, that's what he learned from Guardiola. I don't think he
Yeah.
learned defensive
Yeah.
football. I don't think he learned haram football, as my fellow Nigerian friends like to say. So so at the end
Yeah.
of the day, what they learned and what they really absorbed from their exposure in terms of coaching is possession based football. So that's attacking football. I mean, I don't see why you're saying Arteta is not gonna play attacking football. But Arteta in the past year or so, he became a bit of a pussyo and started defending a lot and started this pragmatic, boring
Yeah,
football
he
because
was
he
gonna
was conceding a lot and he was losing important games, and that's why he started defending more, which I was totally against it. But at the end of the day, I think whatever company did in Bayern Munich, I think Arteta would have easily done it, if not more.
I'll be honest. He
You're
would have
muted.
gone. He would have done the gung ho.
I
He
think
wouldn't have done
we're
not
not
even gung
hearing it.
ho. Gung ho is the wrong one because gung ho is actually more company than bloody Arteta. Arteta would have tried defense more than
Yo,
attack.
is it just
We
me
hate
or
our lives, and all that stuff. And then we be like, we need Arteta out ASAP. Blah 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 blah. I'm telling you right now, I'm better off with company than Arteta. But realistically, I want better than both. That's just me, and I'm sure it's the same with you anyway with Arsenal. So this argument is pretty dumb, but I mean, I guess when somebody starts it, you have to now,
bro? I cannot hear you. I don't know why.
you can't hear me? Weird. I hear you. You chat. There's nobody even in the chat. I was gonna say chat if you hear him. Leave and come back. Yeah, let me see. Leave.
I don't know. Anybody in the chat can tell me if you guys hear me or hear Zir or something.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, he's gonna join back. He's gonna leave and join back. He's gonna join back now, inshallah. Just waiting for. He just left and he's joining. But yeah, man, that conversation is very, very, very interesting to be had. To be quite frank and honest, you know what I mean. Know what I mean. Word to Jacob Fatu on that. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Is he back? No, he's not back. Yeah, he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I've been hearing you. Is down to you? You can hear, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if you guys heard what I said, but okay.
No, no, I mean, to be honest, all I heard you say is, oh, I can't hear you.
Okay, so what I said about Company and Arteta being disciples of Pep Guardiola, so I think both can deliver almost the same thing. If not, if Arteta can maybe deliver even more. I mean, it's not a crazy shout to say that. And I understand Ash's point, and I understand also your point where Company won something with Bayern Munich. But again, I believe a mediocre coach in Bayern Munich can win the Bundesliga because Bayern Munich is that big.
Yeah. Anyway, that was just one of them conversations. To be honest, I was trying to say before the whole thing happened that realistically, no, we shouldn't be having neither of them, but we have them, so it is what it is. Uh, but yeah, listen. Speaking of Premier League and
Okay.
Bundesliga, Premier League starting tonight.
Yeah.
Liverpool versus Bournemouth. So that's a very interesting one. So what are you saying, man? Do you think who do you play, by the way? In your opening, United. You play United, and Liverpool play Bournemouth today. You have
Yep.
City, Wolves. Interesting, and Chelsea, Palace. I think. Okay, so here's the thing. I want to ask you, what do you think is your top four by the end of the season?
Okay. I mean, do I have to rank them or just who's going to be in the
Fourth to
top four?
first or first to fourth, whatever.
Okay. I think. I mean, I'm gonna put some context there, assuming that Isak is gonna join Liverpool, of course. And
Absolutely. Okay.
if Isak joins Liverpool, I think Liverpool will win the league. Arsenal gonna come second, City third, and Chelsea fourth.
Chelsea fourth. You don't trust
Yep.
us, Chelsea? Nah, man. That's crazy. I need some reasoning behind this. So Chelsea fourth. Oh,
I think they demonstrated that quite clearly in the World Cup. I think Mariska managed to find the best starting 11. You can see a structure behind them. You can see they are now more gelled with each other as individuals, and they have good players. I mean, their midfield consists of Caicedo, Enzo, and Palmer, and they signed Pedro. Joao Pedro is a very good striker. They have Dilap. They have a lot of good players. Gittins. So why not? I mean,
yeah, but why not more than fourth is my question.
you think Chelsea is better than City?
I actually think, you know what? I'm going bold. Yeah. Obviously I agree Liverpool win the league. I think Chelsea second.
Okay, guys,
think
thank you
Chelsea
for the stream. It's been really lovely, and subscribe and like.
Chelsea second. I think City third. You fourth, bro. You guys,
give
I'm
me
not gonna
give me a
lie.
reason why Chelsea is above City and Arsenal. You give me the reason.
I'll give you the reason right now. I just
Okay.
feel like they're gonna play better football as a whole than both City and Arsenal throughout the season. I really do. I also do think if they get Xavi Simons in, imagine this attacking line. Yeah, you have Pedro, Xavi Simons, Neto, and
Mhm.
Cole Palmer. Yeah, the midfield you have Enzo, Fernandez, and Caicedo, right? And then you obviously have you have Cucurella and you have Gusto and Reece James. Hell, maybe Reece James can take a role in midfield. If Gusto plays right
Don't
back.
forget Colwell got injured.
Yeah, that's the thing. But they have Hato now. They got in Hato. Yeah. So, bro, why not? But the only thing I'm concerned with them is Sanchez going to be,
There you go. There you go.
yeah.
Some logic.
Now,
Some logic now creeped in.
yeah. The Sanchez thing is my only concern with Chelsea. However, if he was to stick to his form, why not, bro? Why not second? You know what I mean?
Look, I'm not saying Chelsea are a bad team. It's
And
just
by
that
the
I
way,
don't think they're
and by
better
the way,
than
also
Arsenal
more
and
of it as
City.
well as with Man City's problems and Arsenal's problems, more so to what Chelsea problem because Man City, let's be honest, yeah, without
Okay.
Rodri, I don't know if their midfield is gonna function the same way. Depends on who they start. Because knowing Pep, he's probably gonna start Bernardo and Gundogan in some games, and we know how that's gonna pan out nowadays in 2025. Yeah, that's one thing.
Gundogan's still there?
بدري عليك حبيبي بدري عليك. And then you wonder why I'm putting them in هذه. بعدين and then you guys, listen, if
Yeah,
you're
they
gonna
signed
play around
Reinders.
the corner, you know, Reinders is very good. I've said this, but imagine if Reinders was playing next to a Rodri, or if Reinders playing while Cherki's playing, and شو اسمه and let's say Foden, let's say, because I can't even think of the other midfielder. Yeah,
Mhm.
it'd be better for them. You know, although even Foden, by the way, needs to be more consistent, because we've seen Foden at times he's hit and miss. You know,
He's been a miss this whole last year. I mean, last season, 25,
yeah,
20,
but I mean his career,
60 was a
is hit
really
and
a huge
miss.
miss.
But his
Big
career has
miss
been
for
hit
him.
and miss. My point is his whole career has been hit and miss.
That's
One
true.
year
Yeah,
he'll
that's true.
one
Hmm.
year he'll be cooking, another year he'll be يكون مختفي, or the other year he'll be appearing. You know,
But
this
you
is
know,
this.
but you know why I rate City higher than Chelsea? And simple one word: Pep. This
To be
guy, man, if he puts a cat up as a striker, that cat will be the top scorer. That's what
Actually, you know
I'm.
what? I'll tell you this. I'll give you this. Yeah, if Rodri and Donnarumma joins, I'll put them
Okay.
second.
Rodri, you mean Rodri is
Rodrigo,
fit?
sorry,
You mean
Rodrigo, عفوا. If Rodrigo,
Rodrigo?
عفوا, sorry. If Rodrigo joins, yeah. Now I actually, because bro, let's be honest, their left wing, bro. If they start Doku, يا أخي, انسى competing for the league if you start Doku. لا بس يركض
Doku.
حبيبي.
Fuck Doku,
انسى
man.
حبيبي بس يركض bro. He just runs.
Man, he's a good dribbler, but you know the output and the finishing decision, like to pass or to shoot, is not there. I mean, you can see the player is not really mature yet when it comes to decision making.
I mean, again, he runs for the sake of running with the ball. والله العظيم bro حبيبي, like it's all good being electric, but you know when you're like moving into the tight spaces, it's like he's literally running towards the opposition player. I never see him try to drift away from the player. Never. He's just
Yeah, he always cuts in his in the inside. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, he has the explosiveness. He has the pace and the power. He has it. But again, I think he lacks a bit of decision making, and that's important in a player. That doesn't matter how fast you are, how strong you are. If you don't know, I mean, if you don't make the right decision, which is passing or shooting or crossing or going here or there, that's important. I think he needs to be drilled with some Pep DNA, and I think Pep will manage to do that. If not, he's gonna bench him. I mean, we've seen Guardiola bench elite players before.
yeah. But by the way, I will say they were better, in my opinion, if they were able to do it. They were better off keeping Savinho and then getting rid of Doku and then get Rodri. But I think they want the money so bad, so they're getting rid of
I mean, they're
Savinho.
get, they're getting like 45, 50 million. I mean, pound. That's a good amount. I don't know how much they signed Savinho. Was it 30, maybe even below 30? So instead, not only they're getting a profit when it comes to the money, but also they're opening the room for Rodrigo to join.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he'll do a job at Spurs, Savinho, personally. Um, like, could you imagine him, Kudus, and what's his name, Eze? If they get Eze as well, wait, تخيل, that would
I
be
don't know,
crazy.
man, about Kudus and Savinho being in the same team. Honestly,
إلا
maybe yes,
Kudus
yes,
on the
because
right,
because
and
yeah,
then
because
Savi on
Madison
the
is
left.
injured. No, because Madison got an ACL though, so that's why. Yeah, so Kudus will play a more central role.
Yeah, he could, or maybe play more on the right. I don't know. I mean, they're planning on getting. I mean, listen, if they get Eze, then like that your doubt should no longer be. Your doubt should now be about, are they starting to look a bit more dangerous as an
Low
Arsenal?
key, as if we're gonna get somebody like Liao, then I don't mind missing out on Eze. To be honest, I mean he's a good player and all that, but I always
Yeah,
wanted somebody who's a real winger. That pacey winger. We needed that. We need somebody like Liao, man. I don't know about Eze if he can play that left wing. He can, but it's not that into the levels that I was hoping for as a left winger. And I wanted
Yeah,
Rodrigo, but if Rodrigo's gonna go to City, I think we should go for Leao. But I'm not sure if Arsenal are gonna manage to get rid of players and sign Leao before the end of the transfer window, because we're almost there. What is 15? So we're 2 weeks away.
yeah. You know what though? This whole layout, I'm not the biggest fan of layout personally. But I will say, it, if you were again, you could get whoever you want. Yeah, I have a feeling Arteta will find a way to ruin these brothers, man. He will find a way to ruin these brothers. Like even if they were to do anything, like because one thing I'll give Liao is, to be fair, if he was in front of goal, he actually would be more likely to score. That's one thing I will say, and I said this even when we were linked with him at the start after the whole verse thing fell off. Um, but then again, he's one of those inconsistent brothers as well. So it's just, uh, yeah. But hey,
Look, it's
listen,
It's a fair assessment because you're saying because of Arteta, and I cannot deny that because I also think that Arteta is not good with attackers. We've seen a lot of players that regressed under him, like Martinelli, Odegaard, except Saka is the only one who kept some sort of consistency in terms of performances and output. But I'm not thinking of it like in Arteta tenure. I'm thinking beyond Arteta's tenure. Like when he leaves, if I hope that he leaves soon, sooner than later. At least the manager that will come in, he will find the basis to win trophies. Because I mean, when you have a strong team like that, you're having a solid defense, you're having good attackers. Saka, if we bring Liao, and you have Yokaris now. I mean, that's a good team. I mean, you're not doing an overhaul. You're not gonna go crazy in the market because your players are that bad or behind. So I'm thinking beyond Arteta's tenure.
yeah. Well, that's you at this. That's you having Iman at this rate. That's you having Iman at this rate.
Look, if Arteta doesn't win shit next season, I think he's gonna be sacked. I mean, that I
Hey,
believe.
listen, Adi, but I'm just telling you how it is. You know what I mean? No, but bro, listen. I mean, I will say this though. If with a different manager, Loki, he could do a job. Loki. Um, but yeah, let's see how that pans out. You know what? Good transition though. It's like going AWOL. You know, the brother,
Yeah,
the
but,
brother
yeah,
is
well,
basically saying, "I am no longer playing for MBSFC. I am no longer playing for Newcastle United." You know, and
yeah.
I don't know what you think as a fellow Saudi here. You know, my opinion, I think they need to cut their losses.
I think they will do cut their losses there, but at the end of the day, that's a very bad behavior from a professional football player.
Oh, طبعا, yeah,
To
yeah,
to,
yeah. But it's
to
how
turn down.
players.
Yeah, to turn against your club like this. I mean, you shouldn't do that as a professional player. But also, we have a saying, and I'm sure you're very familiar with this saying. I'm gonna say it in Arabic. القانون لا يحمي المغفلين. When
Yeah,
what we needed to do, I mean, or Newcastle, because I consider them as my fellow citizen as a ownership, that they need to put some release clauses there, man. The
yeah,
release clause should be with an amount that you are it's acceptable for you. So if let's say you put in a release clause for 130 mil or 140 mil, you already doubled up your the price that you already purchased. And at the end of the day, if Isak thought that he's a elite player and he think that he can play for a bigger club like Liverpool or Madrid of those world, then he should have asked for a release clause instead of just signing a blank like that. And but like you said, we need I mean, Newcastle need to cut their losses, and I think getting him out for 130 mil is not bad. But the problem is, who are they going to bring to occupy the striker position? Because I don't think there are much available in the market, and we've seen a lot of players that turned down Newcastle, like Cisco, like Ikitike. So they missed out on a lot. So I don't know if they can manage to find a replacement within this short time. But now, having this kind of behavior from Isak, I think Newcastle must go for a striker. They already signed, I think, yesterday. The Here We Go from Fabrizio, which is Ramsey from
yeah.
Aston Villa. So is an okay player, but nothing compared to Isak, of course. But I don't know, man. What do you think?
I mean, bro. I mean, listen. I mean, just like I said before, like I feel like Newcastle. Listen, I understand you want to keep your player. I understand you want to stay strong, and I respect that. However, if
Yeah,
you're put
me
in a
too.
sticky situation, I feel like you need to like look at the bigger picture and just like if he wants to go, just let him go. You're gonna have to because my fear is now is that even if he comes back and plays, is he going to play at the same level as he did years prior? خلينا نكون واقعيين. Is he really going to be back playing at the same level? He's not. And anytime he does anything, Newcastle fans gonna boo the living hell out of him. So you're better off taking whatever money they offer, obviously respectable amount. Obviously, have some sort of karama. Yeah, otherwise you're gonna be less respected. Yeah, and like if it's 120 million, so be it. Take the 120 million and invest it elsewhere. You got in Milikta already. Mumtaz. Finally, you got in somebody. Invest it elsewhere.
But
Invest it in a
but
replacement. Does
also,
it take
you think
someone
the approach
Newcastle?
you think the approach was wrong from the board of Newcastle, that they wanted to renew his contract instead of sitting down with him and saying, "Hey, listen, I understand. We understand that you want to leave. You can leave in January, so you can give us some time to find a replacement for you, and we promise you any offer that is 110 plus, we're gonna accept it." Something like that. The similar manner how Jokeris signing happened, because the owner of Sporting had a some sort of a gentleman's agreement between him and Jokeris, and said, if you stayed for one more year, then we're gonna accept an offer which is around 60 million euros. And I think the board should have went in that direction, and then they could have utilized Isak for at least half a season, and also gives the club a time to find a replacement.
Listen, listen. I'm gonna be real. This whole gentleman agreement thing, like, okay, agreement's not a bad thing. However, in football, doing gentleman agreement when you're not even sure that you want to go or you don't want to go, yeah, okay, 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 then you don't know what the situation will happen back then. It's a very, very, very ballsy move, in my opinion. Like, you're doing this whole agreement thing, and then next thing you know, you think you're gonna go, but you're not really gonna end up going. You know what I mean? If I was the player, I'd rather play it safe and see what happens later on, rather than doing all this agreement. I want to do this. I want to do this. Like, relax, relax, man. You know what I mean? So, like, look what happened with Harry Kane, for example. He did this whole gentleman agreement, didn't get the move he wanted to City at the time, right? And then look where he is now with me. Yeah, eventually, when he eventually left, right? And look at what happened now with, as you mentioned, Jokeres. He did the gentleman agreement. Yeah, he got the move to Arsenal, but it took a while to get there. You know,
But City didn't want to pay up in Harry Kane's situation. I think those are different examples
yeah,
that
but
you're giving there.
the agreement is the same thing. The whole like gentleman agreement is the same thing.
Yeah, but if I
It's
agree with you,
basically
you
the
can
club,
leave.
their own club.
If I agree with you, you can leave for 100 mil plus. Then any offer 100 million plus, then I would accept from X or Y or Z club. But if the gentleman agreement is just stay and we're gonna leave without setting the basis of how you can leave, is also kind of a stupidity from both the player and the board, in my opinion.
Yeah, but like, but
Because
the thing that
in
I'm
Joker's
saying is
case,
the
the
enforcement.
amount was specific.
Yeah, but you know when you do the whole gentleman agreement stuff, like you're basically thinking the board's gonna nice you, but in reality they're gonna do what's the best for the club. They're always gonna do what's best for the club. They're not gonna stick to the agreement. That's the point I'm making.
That look greedy. Greedy owners. Yes, they would look purely from a profit perspective, but when it
I'm
comes to
not gonna.
clubs like Arsenal, clubs like Newcastle, where the funds are not an issue, and it's more about reputation and the image of the club. Because I think Newcastle care about image more than the funds, in my opinion.
Uh, no, listen. I kind of get what you're saying, but my point is a lot of owners are greedy, and to be fair, kind of rightfully so.
So
So, like,
when you are
why?
Sporting Lisbon, yes, you gotta be greedy, because where else are you gonna get the money?
Most, yeah, but most clubs in the world are greedy. So I think that's the point you're missing. If some clubs
I'm
were
not
like,
denying
okay, we'll
it.
get.
I'm not denying it. I'm just saying some clubs they care about image more than the profit, especially big clubs like and upcoming clubs, because I don't think Newcastle really lacks the financials and stuff like that to go. You
Yeah, but
know,
the PSR doesn't help them, and we both know that. The whole PSR thing doesn't help Newcastle, though. The PSR, FFP, yada yada yada. You see, the whole
that's
Newcastle
true.
thing,
That's true. Mm.
like the whole Newcastle thing. Now, I will be really honest. Um, it does play a role, but I don't think it's the major reason to why they've been rejected. Um, I think obviously for some reason what it is, I feel like now a lot of players are choosing the likes of United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and I feel like it's the fact that they want like to just join a big club. Now, now does joining a big club having to is it have does it have to do with the fact that they're getting higher wages? I don't know. I really don't know. But if I am Newcastle United, the only hope I would have in getting somewhere is by smart scouting with the funds that
Yeah,
I have.
we had this debate in Coropod, and somebody was saying we should go with a Brighton way, and I was kind of against the Brighton way because Brighton is purely about profit, scouting out those young, upcoming talents for a
No,
very cheap amount and then selling it for a big value. But I think the approach should be something in between the Brighton way and, let's say, the big clubs way, where they
I
retain their
agree.
players.
You're right.
There has to be something in between, but you're not wrong. Yes, you need to scout some good players. I don't know, from Brazil, from Argentina, or different European countries. You can find talents and actually groom them and either in your academy or even in your first team.
And then buy you few players here and there. I think they need to do a mix of both. I agree with you 100% because
Yep.
here's the thing. If Newcastle can scout players and they end up balling out and they end up making top four more often and they end up going farther enough, let's say around 16s of Champions Leagues or like, eventually quarter, blah 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 blah. Now you're able to be convincing enough to having these players wanting to stay. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I know. I agree with you
that's what I
100%.
think. That's what I think Newcastle United have to do. Because
Yep.
listen, every time they're going for players that a big club want, the big club always somehow get them. You know, which is annoying. Don't get it twisted. But it is what it is, and I think Isak's probably starting to see that. And then on top of the fact he didn't get the wage that he want, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm trying to win now. You know, so I need to move. Initially, I would have told you it had something to do with the wages only, but I think it's beyond that. Over as more news comes out over time and all that stuff. So, man, if I'm Newcastle United, I take that money. I try to invest it in players that are like low under the radar. You know what? I was watching Hussam one of the streams. He mentioned the player Newcastle could low key go for, Malik Fafana. Why don't you go for a Malik Fafana, مثلا? You know, hell, Leipzig and then Nusa. Why don't you go for him? You know, them players. You know, if you want even, um, if you want to go for a forward, hell, obviously, Stuttgart don't want to sell to Bayern like that. Why don't you push for Nick Valtemada? Maybe Valtemada will change his mind to go to Newcastle, مثلا. You know, like I just feel
Yeah,
like
you're not wrong here, as you're not wrong at all. I mean, they should go with those kind of players where the big clubs are
under
not
the
looking at
radar.
right now.
Nobody's really
Yes,
looking, and
a
they
hundred
end up
percent. You're right.
cooking like how it was with Isaac. The reason why Isaac is a hot prospect now, and they were able to get him for so much money then, obviously because Saudi owned club. But I mean, like, not many people were looking at Isaac at the time.
But you have to understand why nobody looked at him, because of the hefty price tag. I mean, it was 60 million. I mean, 60 million is not cheap for a player that
Yeah.
he might or might not bang. But what I think they should do as well, to go to Brazil, for example, and get a striker from there. I mean, he could flop, but at least the risk is lower when you're signing a player for, I don't know, 5 million or something like that. It's not really a big risk. But when you sign a player for 60 mil, he better fucking bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. By the way, can I just say, side note, I actually hope Saud Abdelhamid cooks at Lons, yeah? Because if he does, I think Newcastle should go for him. Wallah al-Azim. I actually hope he, bro, because I've been saying this.
that,
If there's
that
one
came out of
Saudi
nowhere,
talent,
bro.
if there is, no, Smani. If there's one Saudi player that I actually have trust in, is him. If there's one.
How old is he?
He's like in his mid-20s, Zahir. Crazy. I believe
Oh,
he's
he's
in his
still
mid
young.
20s. Because, by the way, last season in Roma, he did not get minutes. Yeah, I see he's 26.
Hmm.
Because he didn't get minutes at Roma, للأسف.
Yeah, he
So
did.
I'm hoping he gets minutes in Lons, man. Because if he gets minutes in Lons, I actually think he's one of those prospects that can get a
The next
decent.
Hakimi?
I don't want to go that far, but bro, I think he has the. Listen, because when we're talking the next Hakimi, right, we're talking about reaching the level. He has the talent to get there, but the problem is, I don't want to jump the gun because he's, you know where he comes from, and you know how people will, you know, use me to get clipped. I'm not trying to get clipped over my tongue, you know what I mean? But he has. I've been saying he has the potential. He actually has the potential. He has the physicality. He has the ability on the ball. He can strike a ball. He can cross a ball. I actually think Sarah, if he actually cooks at Lons, he'll be one of them prospects, man. No joke. No joke, wallahi.
Yeah, I
So that's
think it's good. Also, it opens the doors for local
a
Saudi
lot of other
players to.
talents. Like
Yes,
Timbuktu was linked to a Spanish club, by the way.
I think they should go to those clubs, even if it's a small club in Spain or England or Italy. I think the local talent should go there because when you're exposed to European football, playing with the elite players, you kind of bring that back home as well, and you know, you
Yeah,
elevate
and
the Saudi football as well.
yeah, I think, by the way, you see, like, for example, Mus'ab al he joined Al Qadsi. Low key, when he left Al Hilal, he could have considered going to a European club because I actually think he could have given himself a shot with the talent that he has. So, anyway, but that's a different discussion for a different time. I think we're done for this show, Top BINS YA AKHI, episode 5. So,
Yeah,
final
man,
words,
it's
Sammy?
been well, it's been top. You know, as the name of the show, Top Bins. I mean, we've hit every bar, and man, it's
Yeah,
been elite, man. Here, as usual, it's a pleasure.
yeah, man. Hey, listen,
But guys,
pleasure
hit
doing
the
the show.
likes and subscribe, please.
Yeah, man. Hit the like and subscribe, or else you're moving fraudulent, man. Come
Yeah, and
on, bro.
I gotta jump into Saad because I see him freaking out in
Oh,
the.
it's Saad live. It's Saad live. Because if he's live, I'm gonna redirect him.
Yeah, I'm gonna, because it's core party wanted to do earlier so we can catch up with the Liverpool game.
Where is Saad's channel? Khas, I'll redirect to Saad's channel then. No problem. Uh,
All
it's
right.
channel to Saad's corner, right?
Yeah, Saad football corner.
Why can't I find it? Oh, I found it. I found it. Okay, Kura Pod. Yeah, I see it. Okay, I'm gonna redirect him. When you go there, guys, just say Zir and Sammy raid.
Cheers,
Oh
man.
shit, bro. Bro, I was gonna redirect you to be honest, but then I remembered I told Sami that I was gonna redirect to Saad like when we agreed doing the show at this time, bro. My apologies, brother. My apologies. But yeah. Anyway, khas, so we're gonna go there. Just say Zir and Sami raid, yeah? Uh listen,
Like, guys, like the video.
like and subscribe. Um anyways, until then, you already know what's up, yeah. Like, subscribe, as we said like 3-4 times already. Yeah, go check socials. Billah, guys, don't be frauds and subscribe to Football Rig. If you're on my chat, he is literally supposed to be tagged on the title, and if he's not, then I'm ahmar. No, he is tagged. So go check his channel out.
Sure,
So at
sure.
times he does Premier League content and all that. So go check him out. And listen, inshallah, you're well wherever you guys may be. Now I'm gonna bounce and we're gonna raid Saad over there. So yeah, until then, guys.
Peace
Uh,
out.
see y'all later.